Breaking tonight, a stunning admission from the Biden administration as the Secretary of Homeland Security is now directing FEMA to help deal with the, quote, record numbers of unaccompanied minors coming across our southern border. This coming just days after Mexico's government spoke out against Biden's policies. Their president said this week that those trying to come into the U.S. illegally see Biden as the migrant president. And one Mexican official said cartels began changing their operations from the day Biden took office and now exhibit unprecedented levels of sophistication. And former Trump senior advisor Jason Miller joins me now to react. Good evening, Jason. You know, I was speaking to Governor DeSantis in the previous segment, and I said, you know, a change in administrations, you always expect a little, little change, but a little difference. But what Biden is doing by eliminating the policy that President Trump put in place of keeping them in Mexico and then now allowing, with the stopping of the border wall, all of this to happen is a disaster.
Judge, you're exactly right. And in fact, when Joe Biden got up on that debate stage and said that he supported citizenship for 11 million undocumented folks, that wasn't just an announcement to those who are here in the U.S. illegally at the moment. It was also a clarion call to the rest of the world that if you can get inside the United States, then Joe Biden will fight to keep you here. The problem is that, in addition to the obvious, is that Joe Biden reversed these policies that were keeping us safe under President Trump, such as remain in Mexico. So with President Trump, we cut back on illegal immigration, drug trafficking, human trafficking, almost had the wall completed, except for a couple small sections where they have to get the trucks back and forth. Joe Biden won't even paint the wall anymore. But here's the critical point, Jeanine, is that Joe Biden doesn't care how much bad press that he gets from this crisis at the southern border. This is so central to the Democrats' DNA, to their ideology, to their thinking, because this is the road to socialism. They believe that the United States is supposed to take care of the entire world. Now, I'd say at a little more crass political level, I think Democrats want to have more voters for the rolls, and so they want to have folks come in illegally and then keep them here. But this is their central belief. So just in the same way that conservatives believe in religious liberty and the Second Amendment, and we don't care how much the Democrats try to push us on this, I would say that Joe Biden and his liberal ideologues inside the White House, including Kamala Harris, they could care less. They're not going to change course.
Yeah, but you know, when you compare conservatives, we're talking freedom of religion, First Amendment, guns, Second Amendment. You know, they're talking about taking care of the world. But I want to continue with this. So, if there is this ideological difference, let's say that's what it is. I think it's voter rolls, but what do I know? And let's talk about the fact that now we've got these progressive DAs being funded by George Gascon, by George Soros, and they're putting Americans in jeopardy. No bail, repeat offenders, people who are dangerous to the community, they're out free, and they know that they're not going to stay in jail. How does that benefit America or even the Democrat Party?
Well, it doesn't, and in particular hurts American workers, folks who are here, came into the U.S. legally, folks who are trying to work their way up the economic ladder and provide both a safe and economically prosperous environment for their families. But when you take a look at what the Democrats are doing, it's hurting folks when it encourages these unaccompanied minors to come to the United States. We talk about the record-setting levels of this crisis, 100,000 this last month, 10,000 unaccompanied minors. And now for Secretary Mayorkas to go and pull FEMA into this, they're taking the hardworking men and women of ICE and the Border Patrol and even FEMA, and they're putting them smack dab in the middle of what you could say is the largest international child trafficking ring that we've ever seen in history.
And what about drugs? What about protecting Americans from drugs and the cartels?
No, you're exactly right. And that's where we'd seen such record levels of shutting this down under President Trump. And Joe Biden has gone and thrown this all away. And keep in mind, Judge, that President Trump also reset the entire framework in which we interacted with Mexico or their Northern Triangle countries. He used the threat of tariffs. He used the threat of cutting off aid to force these other countries to work with us to stop the illegal immigration, the drugs, the human trafficking. And now Joe Biden is reversing all of that, all in this sick and twisted pursuit of trying to jack up the voter rolls and then also turn the U.S. into this socialism environment.
All right, Jason Miller, thank you so much for joining us on Justice.
Thank you.
And next, Biden's taking a major victory lap over his massive COVID stimulus plan. But what's really in the fine print? Peter Navarro joins me next to sound the alarm. Don't go anywhere.